Welcome aboard, everybody. This is Wednesday Night Basketball of the NBA on 2K Sports. Tonight, it'll be the Utah Jazz going up against the Los Angeles Clippers. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and David Aldridge is joining us from the sideline. D.A., take it away.
Hey, Kevin, thanks very much. The Utah Jazz made a big move last year with the trade for Mike Conley. Conley said the players they had in place, two-way guys who play unselfishly, is something I've built my game around. We have guys who are willing to do whatever it takes to win. Kevin, back to you.
The Jazz, like Memphis, willing to grind. Thanks, D.A. Here are the five for the Clippers. Leonard and Morris are up in the forward positions. The guard set is Beverly and George. And it's Zubac in at the five down low. And for Utah, Conley in the backcourt with Mitchell as well. O'Neal is out there with Rudy Gobert. And it's Bogdanovich in at the three. A new generation of players, Greg, coming into the NBA alongside your son Cole. We've got a lot of players who I think are going to have a long-term impact on this game.
There's no doubt about it. Listen, I hope Cole can have the kind of impact that some of these guys are. But look at the Grizzlies. I think they got two terrific ones. Ja Morant has superstar written all over him. Brandon Clark probably surprised some people with his ability to have an impact. And if you look at this past draft, Obi Toppin is one to watch. This is a guy with great size and length who was a perimeter player until he had a growth spurt. So those are the types of players that I think when you combine athleticism and skill with the way the court is spaced, man, can have a tremendous impact in this game. And Smitty, you know what Pat Beverly is going to bring every night. A fearless, ferocious, at times almost sociopathic level of intensity. This guy just does not take a possession off.
You know, he's one of those guys I would have to question even playing with him. He plays so hard. I know I hate playing against him.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Here's Conley. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
You know, he left him frozen. The quick move by Mike Conley. Beautiful.
Oh, Leonard in position. Hammers the alley through.
And boy, Kawhi is the perfect target. The big reach gets to the pass and the great hands on the catch.
Utah's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Morris against O'Neal. Good work defensively by Morris.
No one to blame on that one but himself. You get looks like that, you've got to take it back.
George passes to Morris. Lets it go with a three. And another three for the Clippers.
Yeah, 3 for 4 now. I like the pace for them on offense.
The drive by Mitchell. It's hauled in by Zubac.
They are out of rhythm. 1 for 5 so far. You just need to calm down and reward your matchups.
And it's George finishing it off.
And with those long strides, it takes Paul George no time to get to the rim.
Mitchell looking it over. And that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in. And so it's the Los Angeles Clippers holding on to an 8-point lead heading into the break. Their lead is where it is because they've gotten good shots. A lot of good shots. We come back right after this. Recently, we spoke with Patrick Beverly about his throwback style.
Old school basketball, you know, it's fun and it's light. Fans deserve it on both sides. You know, it's good old-fashioned basketball. You know, it's all a part of the game. They're both trying to win, and that's what people want to see. Hard-nosed, edgy basketball.
Now, pound for pound, Greg, Beverly may be the most physical player in the league.
And he also gets in your head. It's a combination that allows him to get stops against guys as big as Kevin Durant.
And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. Guys, what's your take on the Clippers so far?
You could see they were well prepared defensively coming into this one.
Yes, what they do, they take away the things that teams like to do offensively. Also keeping them out of sync.
O'Neal is out there with Joe Ingles. them, there's Jordan Clarkson. Then it's Conley, and it's Favors in at the center position. That's the group right now for Utah. Jazz trail by 10.
And Smitty, with LeBron getting into his late 30s, KD coming off the Achilles, for your money, is Kawhi Leonard the best player in the world?
Great question. I know one player, the Greek Freak, might have something to say about that. No less than Michael Jordan himself called Kawhi the best two-way player in the game. That's a very strong endorsement from MJ. Obviously, Rondo's main priority is to dish the rock. When you're open, he'll get it to you.
Clarkson passes to Favors. Outside Conley. Oh, good on the three.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
Jackson from long range. The shot, no good. Now Jazz taking the other way. In the corner, O'Neal with it. Trains the three-pointer. O'Neal's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for three.
Defensively, you have to tighten up on him or suffer the consequences.
3 seconds separate the shot clock in game. Batum dishes to Ibaka. Over Favors. It's Ibaka. That time on the assist from Batum.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
Clarkson against Jackson. Driving inside.
And that's a little lack of fight at the defensive end.
Absolutely. At least on that slam, you're right. That's one way to let a team back in the game.
Yeah, defensively, your mantra at this point has to be no easy buckets.
And so it's Los Angeles heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. Their defense has been active and effective. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. Kawhi, you have grown so much offensively throughout your career. What's the focus of that end of the floor?
Just knocking out open shots, my ball handling, making good decisions off the pick and roll, and just try to limit my turnovers.
And you've done well so far, Kawhi. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, David, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after this break.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, folks. Ernie Johnson here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. It's the NBA on 2K Sports, and let's talk the first half. From the get-go, it was the Clippers who came out strong. They did it just the way it was drawn up in the locker room, starting out on a 10-2 run. When the first quarter came to a close, their lead was 8. Second quarter, not quite as good, but still managed to maintain control and enjoy a 7-point advantage at the break. What'd you think, Shaq, about the first half we saw from the Clippers?
Well, it's a nice, patient offense they're running tonight. They're not forcing shots. They're waiting for the good ones. And as efficient as they've been, no wonder they're in front.
And Kenny, let's get your input on the Jazz.
Well, after the field goal percentage they allowed in the first half, it's time for them to get tough. That's right, tough. If they're going to stay in this game, they'll need to turn this into a street fight. Get physical. Let some elbows go. Yes, let them go. And guys know there are going to be no more easy baskets in here. Let them know that.
And now with the second half about to get underway, let's send you back courtside. See everybody with Kevin Harlan.
You've enjoyed the broadcast so far. We're halfway through the game. Without question, George is displaying his skills today.
There is no stopping him, and you can't even contain him at this point. He is that talented.
Yeah, and sometimes the strategy in that case, don't let anyone else beat you. You know he's going to get his, so try and keep it to that.
Third quarter action getting rolling right now, brought to you by Gatorade, all filled up and ready to go. Here's he's on the floor. And the Clippers, looking at who they've got, post tandem for him, Morris and Zubac. The stars of this team on the wing, George and Leonard. And it's Beverly into the one. Clippers leading by 7.
And when you talk about certain players having that it factor, Donovan Mitchell fits that bill.
He does. Confident in his approach, GA. Fearless on his attack. Donovan Mitchell is one of those guys who can go off for 50 if you let him get into rhythm. As long as he's in Utah, that team will remain competitive.
And here's George. He'll bring it up for Los Angeles. They've led by as much as 10. And again, no good by the Clippers. Utah has gone 0-2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Here in this third quarter, just over a minute play. Count that bucket.
And right there, Donovan Mitchell showing off that confidence. He's quick and he's powerful.
And George, here we go. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. It's going to be on Donovan Mitchell.
The homecoming for Paul George, playing in LA with the Clippers. They gave up a king's ransom to OKC. 5 first-round picks and Danilo Gallinari and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
And the Jazz with some changes. Derek Favors checked in for Rudy Gobert. Joe Ingles comes in for Royce O'Neal. And it's Jordan Clarkson in for Mike Conley. The Clippers also changing it up. Serge Ibaka has checked in for Zubac. Batum comes in for Leonard. Rajon Rondo subbed in for Patrick Beverly.
Money from the stripe. He does a great job night in and night out.
Here's Clarkson, and he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
He is really shouldering the load on the offensive end and doing an outstanding job. But he needs the rest of his team to step up.
Los Angeles leading by 5. Here's George, and it's George finishing it off.
So smart with the ball in his hands. George reads the floor well and takes advantage of what's there.
90 seconds now into the second half. Pass to Favors. Favors with a screen on Rondo. Clarkson on the wing, defended by George. Oh!
Yes! Yes! Love the agility of Favors to roll hard to the rim after the screen. They count on him to handle that.
Down low. And Serge Ibaka, the bucket on the assist by George.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed, never in a hurry.
Passes it to Clarkson. 4 seconds left. Count it. Clarkson's got 8.
That time, a lot of young guys would have jacked up a shot. Patience. Man flashes open. Mitchell delivers the ball.
Oh, he got it to go!
I can't believe it.
That's a miracle. Are you kidding me?
I didn't think that shot had any chance of going in. Just shows you that anything can happen in this game.
And we've reached the end of the third. Clippers ahead, up by 8. And we're coming right back. Be sure to stay with us as we get started for the fourth quarter. And let's go back to a terrific pass that we're calling tonight our State Farm assist of the game.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Yeah, you also have the location of the pass. Puts it right where it needs to be, where his man can do something with it.
And with 3 quarters behind us, let's see what this fourth period holds in store for us. Us updated from the sideline. Let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, guys, over the break, I was able to listen to Tyronn Lue's huddle. His demeanor was not one of the coach whose team was well ahead. He said, this is the time to turn up the heat, make one final push, and try to close out strong. See if they were listening, guys.
In and up at the forwards, it's Ingles along with Bogdanovich. Clarkson is out there with Mitchell, and it's Gobert in at the 5, roaming the paint. That's the group right now for Utah.
Donovan Mitchell's ready, and he knocked down one of the bigger shots of his game.
Ingles against Leonard. Batum, a chip in on the offensive rebound.
That pass into the paint, that is a work of art there. Dead on target.
Jazz trail by 7. Mitchell with it. To the paint. And Gobert gets to Bogdanovich. Shot clock at 6. Clippers leading by 7. Outside Rondo. Now here's Zubas. Back to Rondo. This one for 3. Good on the three-point shot.
Guys, I think this is a game they have to feel good about as we wind through the final moments here in what looks to be a solid win for the Clippers.
You know, a team can have a great shooting night without getting a lot of assists, but tonight they had both.
Yeah, and listen, you only get the assist if the guy you give it to makes the shot. So a lot of assists will up your field goal percentage, but this is a great team effort by everyone.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance from Paul George.
And how many times throughout the course of the evening did he make a momentum-changing play? I thought his relentlessness really keyed their success.
And now, let's present our New Balance player of the game, Paul George.
And his percentage from the field tonight seems almost made up. I didn't think it was possible to have that kind of success shooting basketball. You need a little bit of luck, a bunch of hard work, and a whole lot of talent.
He silenced this crowd with an unreal display. His ability to drown out the noise and the hostility of an opposing crowd is pretty special.
Inspired tonight. They fought hard and at crucial points just made the plays.
Especially during this last run, which ultimately put the game away.
26 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Here's George. Conley grabs the miss. Clarkson against George. Can they get it? A shot by Clarkson, no good. On the wing, but 2. Over O'Neal. It's off. So it's Los Angeles win this one easily. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time GA this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't give them any chance to lift their team up at the finish.
And now let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline for our player of the game. David, take it away.
Hey, Kevin, thanks. Paul, a great team effort defensively. So what were your points of emphasis?
We do a great job of helping one another and getting in gaps. And, if we're going to get beat, it's going to have to be, beaten by contested shots and the ball being swung. So that's what we have to do. We have to sit down, guard guys, and, make them play on the offensive end as a team.
Well, y'all were real disruptive tonight, man, and led to the win. Congratulations. Kevin, back to you.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Steve Smith, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.